Okay, I just turned on the recording. Okay, guys, so welcome back to FX Action Trader. So we have both new friends, we have some new and old friends here. So today's topic, I will name today's topic as the secrets behind price action. So mainly today's topic, we are going to talk about price action, meaning the what is price action and how can we use price action in our trading. Okay, so just some disclaimer here or some ground rule here. So I need you guys to participate fully participate in this session. Mean I will need your 200% focus, 200% and also 200%. Just keep your energy level high. I know that 10 p.m. here is 10 p.m. your area, so please keep your energy level
memang.
high.
Dan aku semalam dah booking dah.
I need you to do me a favor while I please mute your mic. All right, so to avoid any disturbance to other participants, just mute your mic and get ready your notes. Okay, get ready your notes because I'll be sharing quite fast, so just take some notes. Okay, so and it's better for you if you have already read some contents in my membership area before you join in this session. But if you have not, it's okay. It's okay. All right, just wholly focus on this for this session. Okay, so there are some disclaimer here. So any advice or information on this presentation or on this sharing is just my general advice. All right, please do not take into account for your personal circumstances, and please do not trade or invest based on this information. You need to do your own back test in order to validate all the information that I share. All right. Okay. So basically, this is the core, the major team members of FX Action Trader. So my name is Chuan. All right, my name is Chuan, and the other partner of me is Mason. So Mason will be joining this session later on. Yes, Tony, any issue? I see Tony is raising his hand. Yes, Tony. Okay. So if you have not, I will just proceed. Okay. So just for your information, we have been trading for more than 10 years, and we always think that forex trading should be easy and for the courses should be affordable as well. That's why we came up with this Kickstarter package for only $7 US. And we have been coaching for more than 200 students worldwide since 2016. All right. So are you guys ready? All right. I hope everybody is ready. All right. Give me some response. Type in ready if you are good to go. Type in ready, ready, ready. Are you ready? Type in ready, ready, ready. Okay. Okay. So what are you going to learn today? So today you'll be learning on how to read a naked chart and how to identify a market structure and how to spot the entries by using trend line. So today I'll be focusing more on trend line and also market structure. Okay, and this is about price action. So whenever we talk to people that, or whenever we came across with some other trader that they might ask you, hey, what kind of trader are you? Are you an indicator trader or are you a price action trader? So normally I will say that, okay, I will just trading price action, meaning that I'm trading based on naked chart. So I was an indicator trader when I first started forex trading, but I found that most of the indicators are most of them are lagging, meaning that whenever I enter the market has been traveled for a very long period or a very long duration. And what can I do is that I always make the very late entry. And by using the price action technique, this enable me to enter the market much more earlier than those who are trading indicators. So I'm not saying that indicator is not good, but I just find that I'm more comfortable with trading price action. Okay. So whenever we are dealing with price action, we are talking about candlestick. All right. So in the candle body, we can know there are four information. All right, which are the open price, closing price, upper shadow, and also the lower shadow, which is the higher price and also the lowest price. We call this as a OCHL: open, close, high, and low. So these four informations are going to play on with us throughout our entire trading journey. Okay, it depends on how good are you in combining all these four information. And trading is just about logic. All right, when a candle body is very long, meaning that the current buying pressure or the selling pressure is very strong. So if there is a short candle body, meaning that the buying pressure and the selling pressure is very weak. So if you notice, if you can look on the pairs, like let's say you're looking on euro dollar. So when London market has not opened, you can see that most of the euro pairs are moving in a very small candlestick because the market has not been open and there are a very least trading volume. That's why we have a very small pressure for that currency pair. Okay, and then these are some important patterns for you to take note. Okay, so I believe that you guys have go through the content. So I will just go through very briefly on this session because I want to focus on the following session, which are more focused on the entry part. Okay. So the first pattern is the engulfing pattern. So the engulfing pattern, basically we are talking about two candles. All right. We are talking about two candles. We have bullish engulfing and also bearish engulfing. And for me, the perfect engulfing candle is the candle that follow the trend. All right, let's say we are dealing with this bullish engulfing candle, meaning that I need market trend to be in my favor, which is market is in an uptrend. Meaning that when market is in an uptrend and market retrace, so market retrace to, let's say, retrace to a certain level, certain key level, and at here I see a bullish engulfing candlestick. So this candle is good to go. It's good to go for you to make an entry. Okay, do not trade the market counter trend. All right, let's say you are having a downtrend market and you see a bullish engulfing candlestick and you enter for a buy trade. This is a big no. All right, bear in mind, this is a big no. We do not trade like this. We need market to show us some symptoms or some signals that the trend is going to reverse, and then only we trade in line with the trend. All right, so the same thing goes to the bearish engulfing candlestick. So for me to trade with this bearish engulfing candlestick, I need market to show me a sign of downtrend. All right, meaning that market is in a downtrend, and when market pull back to a certain key level, I see this bearish engulfing candlestick, and from here I would enter for a sell trade. All right, else I will not enter for a sell trade unless there is a better signal or better confirmation. So this is prevent you from over trading and also prevent you to trading the counter trend. Okay, so let me proceed to the next slide. Okay, so the next pattern is going to be a pin bar pattern. So this pin bar pattern is also one of my favorite pattern. All right, this is also one of my favorite pattern. So this pin bar pattern is basically, if you are looking at okay, is a very logic way to trade this pattern. Okay, if you're looking at H4, meaning that if you see a H4, there is a pin bar in H4, most likely there is a engulfing in H1. Okay, meaning that the market tries to test the lower level of the market structure, is this candle, and fail to close below, and market just push up, close above this level. So we have a pin bar in the H4 chart. Okay, so if you notice that most of the pattern that I share are mostly on trading reversal market or trading trend continuation market. All right, so this pattern can be used in trading trend reversal and also trading trend continuation. So the next pattern is morning star and evening star. So basically we have one doji. This is the middle one is a doji, and we need to have both different color candle. All right, both different color candle. And okay, there is one more pattern which is called a dominant setup. So the dominant setup, I believe that we have repeated so many times. So you guys can just read from the website or read from the membership content. Okay, so there are three types of market. All right, there are three types of market. All right, Kenny, I need to mute you, sorry. Okay, there are three types of market, which are the uptrend, downtrend, and sideways. I have repeated this many times. We only trade when market show us a very clear trend. All right, we only, I say again, when market is showing us a very clear trend, a very clean structure, a very clean trend, that is the time we enter for a trade. So if you are not sure about what market is the, if you're not sure about what is the market current trend, just don't trade. Look for other pair. All right, don't just trade for the sake of trading. Because I have received so many PMs that they are confused about market direction, they are confused about trading, and they don't even know what market is currently trending, and they want to look for entry, they want to look for signal. All right, I do not want this thing to happen to my members, okay? Because personally, I experienced this before, and I have lost a lot of money because of I do not know how to identify market trend in a very correct way. So I do not want my members to have this kind of mistake. All right, so if you are not sure about the market trend, just don't trade. All right. So in an uptrend, what are we going to see? We're going to see a lower high, higher high, lower high, and a new high. And we do not entry at here. Okay, we do not entry at here. Why? Because when market is moving like this, how can you confirm that market is in an uptrend without making a new high? All right, I say again, how can you confirm that market is in an uptrend without making a new high? You need market to make a new high in order for market to confirm to you that, okay, this is in an uptrend. You can look for buy signal now. You can look for a buy trade now. All right, so this is the entry zone for the uptrend structure. So for the downtrend structure, it's the same thing. We need to see market show us that there is a low being created, there is a lower high, and there is a new low being created that break below the previous low. And this become a key level. When market pull back to the key level, this is the place where we look for entry. Okay? So in other words, when we have market like this, these are the zone where we look for our buy entry. Okay, these are the zones where we look for our buy entry. So we're expecting a pullback and continue to make new high because market is in an uptrend condition. All right. Okay, Andy saying that what is there is no pullback after break up or down. Okay, I will explain this with trend line later on. Okay, this is how we stack up conferences. All right, so the next slide. Let me clear this. Okay. Okay, so now this is the main topic. I want you guys to take notes on this. Okay, let me take out my tablet. I'm going to explain this by using a tablet. Okay, so in trend line, we need to know that how can you draw by using a trend line? All right. Let me share my screen. Okay. Firstly, we need to know that how can you draw using a trend line? There are so many arguments that saying that, okay, let's say we have candle body, candle body, candle body. So people is saying that, okay, we are going to connect shadow to shadow, or even body to body, or even body to shadow. Okay, I believe that you guys have came across this, and I think that this is quite confusing. So I have made it a very clean and very simple way. All right. Let's say we are having a trending market. Okay, and we only connect with the wicks. Okay, this is the first, second, and third, and we only connect with wicks. All right, other than wicks, we do not take into consideration. The same thing goes to downtrend. we only connect with weeks. First, second, third. Okay. And the next thing is, let's say, what if we are having something like this? This is a trend line, because once we have 2 points, we can draw our trend line. Okay. And we are having the third point that break below this trend line, but close above. So in this time, we need to shift our trend line. Okay. We need to trade that this is the first touch and this is the second touch, and our trend line became like this. Initially, it was like this. All right, so when we are seeing that market break below the trend line, but market is not able to close below, and market close back to the trend line area, we need to shift our trend line. Meaning that market refuses to go down and market is going to go back to its original trend. Okay, the same go to the downtrend. The same go to the downtrend. Let's say we are having something like this, and this is our initial trend line. And market just break above and close below. So we need to shift our trend line to here. First touch, second touch. Meaning that if market is not breaking this trend line, we are not going to take for any consideration for buy. Okay, so when we're talking about entry, so when we're talking about entry, there are two types. Okay, it can be a retest entry. This is a follow trend. And there will be a breakout entry. So this is trend reversal. Okay, so let me talk about retest first. Okay, let's say we are having a trend line here. So whenever market, okay, assume that this is a H4 trend line. This is a H4 trend line. Whenever market is, we have the first touch, second touch. So we know that this trend line is valid. Okay. And also we need market to show us that this high was broken and market just went out to create a new high. So we know that market is in an uptrend. Okay. We have higher high 1 and higher high 2. So we know that market is in an uptrend. So when market is going to retest here, if you are going to trade with only one time frame, you can look for price action here. So the best pattern that I look for here is always an engulfing candlestick or a bullish pin bar. It can be a pin bar, just a pin bar will do. The pin bar can be either a bullish or a bearish pin bar. It can be either way. Okay. You can either look for an engulfing candlestick pattern or a pin bar pattern. So this is only when you trade with a single time frame. But if you zoom this into a lower time frame like H1 or M15, you can combine. You can use whichever time frame that you want, and you can look for pattern like double bottom, head and shoulder, or another trend line break. So this is how you stack up the conferences. okay, between H4 and also H1 or M15. Okay, thus the next one I'm going to talk about selling example. Okay, so for selling we need to have a trend line going downwards, and we need market to show us that there are signs of trend line. Sorry, there are signs of the trend, meaning that we need to have a lower low, and first touch, second touch. Okay, so again the same thing. If we are trading with only one time frame, we are looking for or either these two. Okay, so this is only on a single time frame, which is the H4. So if you are looking on H1, we are looking at pattern like this: double top, head and shoulder, or even another trend line break. So I'm going to show this example in the chart later on. Okay, so this is about the retest entry. Okay, now we talk about breakout. Okay, when you are trading with breakout, you need to confirm that market has the trend reverse. Okay, so for trend reversal trade, my advice for you is that we only look for trend reversal confirmation on higher time frame. All right, daily might be a bit slow for you, so my recommendation is that you can look for that in H4. H4 is good for me. Okay, let's say we are having a breakout here. Breakout. Okay, let me say this BO, breakout. So if you are trading with breakout, you can either buy immediately, but here is your SL. So, but you need to bear in mind that this is a H4 chart. So the SL is going to be very big. So we are not going to trade like this. So whenever we are having a breakout here, what we do is that you can either wait for a pullback. You can either wait for a pullback, and from the pullback, we look for buy signal. This is option 1. Option 2 is that after the breakout, we want market to give us more confirmation. So we want market to, because this is a this is a downtrend, and after market break the trend line, we are going to say that a market is likely to become an uptrend. Okay, become an uptrend, turn into an uptrend. So the best confirmation for me is that market break this high again and create a new high, and from here only I look for my entry at here. Okay, meaning that market need to entry here. But this takes a lot of time because this is a H4 chart. Okay, so you can either look for pattern like this. There's a downtrend. Break, retest, retest, and market break again. Okay, pattern number 1. The second pattern, downtrend. Pattern number 2. Okay, pattern number 2. Okay, so I back to Andy question. So Andy was asking that what if the price doesn't pull back, or what if the price did not pull back? Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, sometimes when we are talking about the breakout, in that we are talking about this breakout, we need to look to the left, meaning that we need to see that what market is doing before the breakout. What is the market doing before the breakout? Okay, so let's say I have one more trend line here. If the market already do this kind of pattern, meaning that when market stays below this trend line, there is already a head and shoulder pattern here. Okay, or there is a double bottom pattern here. So normally for market like this, market not really will pull back. Okay, so you can filter even further by using lower time frame if you are afraid of missing out the trade. So for me, I set a very I set a very simple rule for myself. So as long as this trade has a potential risk to reward 1 to 2, I will just take it. All right, no matter the trade pullback or not. Okay, because if you are trading with Japanese yen pair like GJ or cross pair like GA or even EA, so normally when the momentum come, market not really will do a pullback. Market will just go all the way. So we need to study that how market is doing the structure before the breakout, or how market is doing the is forming the momentum before the breakout. Okay, so this is for buy. This is for buy trend. For sell trend, we need market to show us a pattern of buy trade. Okay, meaning that we need market to keep on building out for us. So when market break out, we look for double top like this. Okay, or even we look for head and shoulder pattern like this. Okay, so so far until here, is everybody clear before I move to the chart? Is everybody clear before I move to the chart? Okay, thank you for responding. Okay, so I'm going to share my chart now. Okay. Okay, okay, thank you for responding. Okay, so basically when we are doing our entry, or when we are looking at the market, because I believe that most of you guys here are trading intraday. So when you're trading intraday, you can refer to daily chart for confirmation. But for recent market, I found that the support and resistance level is not really working. Okay, the support and resistance is not really working. I'm not sure why. Maybe because of the pandemic, or maybe is market is changing their behavior or patterns. But what we need to do is very simple. We just stick to our fundamental. We just stick to our basics. So let's say for example, if you are looking at this part of market, all right, we are looking at this part, okay. So we know that market is keep on building up. So you can either draw the trend line like this, or even draw this way. Okay, this way. You can draw this way, or you can even draw this way. Okay, just make sure that the trend line looks logic. Okay, what do I mean by logic? Because trend line, okay, whenever we are trading, we are talking about zones, meaning that zones is a certain range or between two price levels. So meaning that is impossible for everybody to see the same price. All right, everybody can see the price between a certain level, but not everybody is going to see the same price. So we need to know that, okay, so this is basically an uptrend condition, because we can see that market is keep on doing high, 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 and lower high, lower high, lower high, and high. So if you're having problem seeing the trend, you can use there's a very simple trick for you to do. Because why? Because when we are talking with candlestick, we are talking about the open price and also the closing price. So the simple trick is that you can always change your chart to a line chart. Okay, so when you are in the line chart, you can see that, oh, market is in a very clear uptrend condition. Okay, market is in a very clear uptrend condition because line chart is only dealing with the closing price. Okay, line chart is only dealing with the closing price. So this is a very good tools for you to identify trend, because when you are unable to spot the trend very clearly. Okay, so we know that when market is in a trending, my first advice to you is that when market is in a trending, just trade with the trend. Do not expect market to drop, do not expect market to reverse, and do not ever trade counter the trend. Okay, I believe that many of us might be thinking that, okay, let's say the market is at here. Okay, we might thinking that, oh, the market has been traveled for a very long period, and what do I see is that, oh, I'm seeing this kind of double top. I'm seeing the sort of weak rejection. So okay, market is likely to drop. So I'll just be going to go for a sell trade here. And wow, my reward is at here, and my reward is about 1 to 3.5, it's about 1 to 4. So okay, chart pattern is not to be used like this. Okay, so this is a double top. Yes, this is a double top, but there is not enough evidence for me to look for a sell trade. Okay, because why? If we are looking for a sell trade, we need market to show us evidence. So what do I mean by evidence? It can be either a new law being created, the first evidence, or the second evidence is that I need market to break below this trend line, and market forms a double top, and then this double top is a valid double top for me to make my entry. All right, this double top is not a valid double top for me to make my entry. Okay, I hope you guys are clear about this. So when we are talking about retest, so how can we trade with retest? Okay, so when market is retesting the trend line, what we can do is that we can go to lower time frame to look for entry. Let's say market is at here. We go to H1. Okay. We go to H1. Okay. So the first entry signal I saw here is this is a dominant setup. Okay, this is a dominant setup. So I'm assuming that you guys know what is a dominant setup. if you do not know what is a dominant setup, drop me a message on Facebook. I will send you the link how to get the dominant setup ebook. Okay. If you do not know what is a dominant setup, drop me a link on Facebook, and I will be sending you the dominant setup ebook. Okay. So this is dominant setup and also an entry method for us. Okay. So we have the first entry method here, and the second is that market break the trend line for downtrend. Okay, we need to when we're talking about trend, we need to know that. Okay, where is my highlight area? Okay, when we are talking about trend, we need to know that market are in phases. So what I meant by market are in phases is that there is always a trending phase and a pullback phase or a retracement phase, or I will just call this as this is the push phase, and this is the exhaustion phase or a pullback, pull phase versus a pullback, and this is on H4. So the rules is very simple. Okay, so once you identify the trend, oh sorry, I should be sharing this. Okay, so the trading step, the first thing is that we need to plot the trend line at higher time frame, which are the H4 time frame that I just mentioned just now. The first step. The second step is that we need to wait for our trend line to be retested, or we need to wait for a breakout. Okay, if trend line is retested, we trade along with the trend. If trend line was broken out, we trade trend reversal, but provided market show us enough evidence or enough confirmation. And we always spot our entry pattern at lower time frame, which is the H1 or even M15, and we always apply the entries with risk and money management, which is always 1:2 risk ratio, and you can even use up to 1:3 or 1:4. Okay, as you wish. Okay, so we're back to here. So when market is retesting this H4 trend line, we know that market in H4, the first thing is that market in H4, market is in a buy trend. All right, we know that when market is in the buy trend, I will be ignoring all the sell signals in H1. Okay, I repeat again. When you already lock your trend on H4 chart, then let's say on H4 chart, I have already locked my trend, which is a buy trend. So when I'm looking for entry on H1 chart, I am only to look for the buy signal or the buy entry on H1 chart. I will be going to ignore all the sell signal on H1 chart. Okay, this is a very important advice, important notice for you to bear in mind when you are trading, because we do not want to get confused by a lower time frame. Okay, look, this is what happened. If you are looking for buy on a H4 chart, and then you go to H1, you see that, oh, this is also something like a triple top, or the H1 also got a trend line broken here. I should be going to look for a sell. And look what market happened after this. Market just shoot up. Okay, so please bear in mind, we need to identify our first trend on H4, and then only we look for the entry on H1. Okay, so I'm going to change the color for the H4 trend line, so that, okay, so H4 trend line is in blue color. So on this H1 trend line, we can look for the first entry method is through the dominant setup and is near the H4 trend line. So the second entry method is the trend line break. Okay, trend line break with a bullish engulfing candle. All right, this is a very strong trend line break. So in case let's say you may have missed out this entry. All right, you have missed out this entry when you open up your chart, market is already somewhere around here. Market is already somewhere around here. So what do we do is that we either wait for a pullback, or we wait for our chart pattern we wait for market to show us the chart pattern. So something like this. Okay, I should be okay. If market show us like this, so we know that, remember just now I mentioned about phases. This is a push phase and this is a pullback phase. Okay, meaning that between these two level, we are only to look for buy. Okay, we are only to look for buy between these two level. Okay, so we are not going to buy just when market pull back. We need market to show us evidence to buy. Okay, we need market to show us evidence to buy. Okay, if I'm focusing on this part, what is this trend? Anybody? What is this trend? What is this trend? Downtrend. Yes, good. This is a downtrend. Because why? Because market show us a lower low, lower high, and a lower low. So in order for us to buy this, we need market to break out this lower high. Okay. Okay, we need market to break out this lower high. So we wait market to show us more evidence. So this lower high was broken. And if you look back to the left, okay, when I say look back to the left, I'm not asking you to look back at this area. Okay, no, we just look at what market has did before the breakout. Okay, so we can see that before the breakout, market retested this area. All right, meaning that if the downtrend is going to continue, market should be breaking this level and retest and continue to break down, but market didn't. Okay, I will just take this as market failed to close below. Okay, I will just take take this as market failed to close below, because after this bearish pin bar, there is 3 bullish candlestick coming in and break the previous lower high, and this forms a double bottom pattern. Okay, this is how we use chart pattern in our entry. Okay, this is how we use chart pattern in our entry, and from here we can make our entry with just 1 to 2 risk and reward ratio. And the rules is very simple. When you have 1 to 1, all right, just set to break even. All right, when you have 1 to 1, just set to break even, and we let market to play out. Can you see? So this is how you trade with intraday. Okay, this is how you trade with intraday. Okay, before I proceed to the next example, everything clear? If everything is clear, type a yes for me. Okay, thank you, Alvin. Thank you, Kenny. Okay, good. Thank you. So most of you guys have been trading for some time here, so you guys are picking up this very, very fast. Okay, so the next example, I'm going to show you one more example. Oh, sorry, a few more examples. Let me show you one more example for the retest. Okay. So let's say we have here. So normally we only can trade on the third touch. Okay. Because why? Because we need market to show us evidence on first touch, second touch, and when market pull back to the third touch, only we can trade the market. Or meaning that when market is doing the first touch and second touch, this is the time we draw the trend line. We plot the trend line. Okay. So if we go to H1 at here. Okay, so imagine if you are trading with chart pattern. Okay, this is head and shoulder. Head and shoulder already break out the neckline. I should be looking for sell. Die. Okay, so many people are confused by chart pattern because I understand that they can learn online on all the chart pattern, but you need to know that how to place the chart pattern at the right place. All right, you need to know that how to structure the chart pattern at the right place. Okay. So this is a very clear entry for me. Okay, this is the engulfing candlestick entry. Okay, this is the engulfing candlestick entry. So okay, let me share something extra for you. All right, let me share something extra for you. Hold on for a second. Okay, so in order for me to be a valid engulfing candlestick, I need market to show me some criteria. Okay, let's say we are having a candlestick here. We are having a candlestick here, and we are having the line here. Okay, we are having the line here. Okay, I need market to okay. Let's say this is the engulfing candlestick pattern that I'm looking for. The first rule is that I need market to close above this shadow. Okay, above this shadow, something like this. Okay, and I need that this I will call this as a 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, meaning that the lowest point of the engulfing candle is either at the middle candle or at the engulf candle. All right, it's either at the middle candle or the engulf candle. So it can be either like this or like this. So this is a valid engulfing for me. So if we are looking at something like this, so this is not a valid engulfing candlestick for me because I need market, I need the lowest, I need the longest shadow to be at the middle candle or the engulf candle. Okay. Okay, Muntase has a question here. Okay, can we use EMA 50 instead of drawing trend line? Okay, okay, in my opinion, you can use EMA because in fact, I'm also using EMA to do some filtering. Okay, I turn on the EMA. But if you see, okay, a very simple thing. Okay, I will just call something like, let me name, okay. So in trading, we need market to show us, okay, the first thing is that market need to show us a signal confirmation. Okay, so signal confirmation can be like a higher high or a higher low, etc., etc. But EMA, I'm going to use EMA for as an extra confirmation. Okay, so why do I say so? Because EMA, the value is calculated based on market past history. So is not a leading indicator, it's a lagging indicator. So when an indicator is lagging, meaning that we can have problems with the indicator, meaning that when market show us the indicator, when market show us the sign, probably the market has been traveling for some time period. So this I believe that this is a very good example. So if you are not drawing trend line, you are seeing that the market forms a head and shoulder and market just broke through the EMA 50 and you go for a sell trade, and this time you will get the stop loss trigger. All right, this is one of the example why I don't use EMA as a leading indicator. Okay, so I will tell you when to use EMA. Okay, so back to this entry. So let's say you have failed to do entry to enter here because probably you are sleeping, you are away from the market, you are not in front of your computer or your handphone. There is always a second entry for you. Okay, so this is a downtrend and we have a trend line break. Okay, so whenever we have a trend line break, we need to see in very details. Okay, so when we have a trend line break, but the market retraced back to the trend line area and got rejected, and at here we can see a double bottom pattern. Okay, this is a double bottom pattern where we can look for our entry. So if you put your entry at here for 1 to 2, let's see whether can we hit 1 to 2. No, we did not get 1 to 2. We only get about, oh yeah, 1 to 2, exactly 1 to 2. Okay, so let's say when we have 1 to 1, we just start to break even and let the market do the remaining. Okay, because I wouldn't know market will be traveling for how long, and I wouldn't know market whether we hit my take profit or not. What I do is that I'm just protecting my trade when I have 1 to 1. Okay, when I have 1 to 1, or even when I have 30 pips running or even 20 pips running, I will just set to break even. Okay, and look for another trade, because when you set to break even, you are risk free. Okay, and another thing to do with trading is that when we are entering a trade, we always ask ourselves that, okay, in this trade, how much am I going to make? Or in this trade, that how much of profit that I able to make? So this is a very wrong question, because I used to ask myself this question as well. So, but after spending for some time, after paying some tuition fee to the market, because I noticed that when I chasing for profits, I got emotionally distracted. Okay, so the first ever question that you should ask yourself whenever you're entering a trade is that how fast can you set to break even when you are entering a particular trade? This is a very important question. Okay, so yes, Alvin, there is also a dominant setup here. Yes, thank you for reminding. I also missed out. Yeah, this is a dominant setup here. Okay. So in trading, we are always afraid of, oh, the market has broke out already. We are afraid of, like, okay, we are afraid of we missing out the boat. What do I call it? FOMO, fear of missing out. Okay, we are scared of missing out the boat, and we want to enter as early as possible. But you need to know that market is not going to travel all the way like this, all right? Because there are buyers, there are sellers, and there should be a pullback, all right? If the market doesn't pull back, just let it be. We look for another trade, because you did not lose anything, all right? Are you going to buy at here? Are you going to buy at here? Because you are saying that, oh, I don't want to wait for a pullback, right? This candle is so strong. Probably the market is going to go up even higher, and you are going to buy here. So if let's say you are going to buy here, and you see what market did after this, market just go all the way down. All right, market just go all the way down. So what we do is that we only play with the probability. Okay, this is what I can say from trading. It's a probability. It's a game that how good are you in preserving your capital, and the profit or the money is your gaming score. Okay, so let us look back on the H4 chart. So just now we have talked about retest. Now we talk about breakout. Okay, so how am I going to consider whether a breakout is a solid breakout or a not solid breakout? Okay, so let's say we are having a breakout here. So because this is a H4 chart, we can see that when market is breaking out here, we can see that market stays away from the trend line for 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 is 16, meaning the market stays away from trend line for 16 hours and not able to close back within the trend line. So I will just say that this is a solid breakout. Okay, so if after the breakout there is one more candle that close back to the trend line, so this is not a solid breakout, and this is probably we need to shift our trend line to here. Okay, so you need to see that what market did after the breakout and what market did before the breakout. Okay, so we look at here. So if we go to H1, because when market break out the trend line, what should we look for trade in H1? Are we going to look for a buy trade or a sell trade? Guys, when market break out the trend line, what are we going to look for in H1? Buy trade or sell trade? Yes, sell trade. So when we know that we are going to look for a sell trade, any buy signal on H1, I will just be ignoring all the buy signals from H1. Okay, so for example, this is a very good example. I can explain it all here. Okay, so on this H1, what you can see here, if you are trading with H1, you will see that, oh, this is a head and shoulder pattern. Market is going to go up and I will go all in. All right, I used to trade like this, not bluffing. It's my true story, all right? Because when I was looking at MT4 on my mobile phone, I was seeing that, oh, this is a head and shoulder pattern. And what I can see that, oh, there is a very strong bullish engulfing candlestick. Yes, this is a very nice trend reversal setup. Okay, I'm going to go all in. Okay, and guess what? Market just went down all the way. So when we have the direction fixed on H4, all right, when we have having the direction fixed on H4, so on H1 we do not care about all the buy signals. We only focus on the sell signals that market is going to show us. Okay, so we can see that this is also a trend line on H1. Okay, and we can trade. This is a trend line on H1, and this is I will say this as a pin bar or a very strong bearish engulfing candlestick, and this is also a double top formation. Okay, this is also a double top formation. So look at this, how many entry chance that we have. Okay, this is the first entry chance. This is the second entry chance that we have. Because market break the trend line, forms a double top, retest for 1, 2, 3, and at the fourth time, market break down with a pin bar. So this is how we stack up all the confluences in the market. Okay, and market just went down. So do not ever rush for a trade. We wait market to show us a better evidence. Okay, so I will just clear this. We're back to H4 again. Okay, just now we are at here. So we know that market has already broken this trend line, and now market already, we can see that on H4, what market did? Market did a new low, and the new low was broken down and created a newer low or a lower low. So we know that market is in a downtrend. So from here, we can draw our trend line for downtrend. So at first, we draw it here, okay? And we see that after the breakout, probably there is a buy signal here. Just let me go again. We can go to H1. Probably there's a buy signal here because of the breakout. Okay, there is a buy signal here. There's a buy signal here. This is a, we go to M15. Okay, that's here. So probably I will be missing out this trade, all right, because market just break up and break down. So never mind, we go back to H1. what I want to show is that how to shift your trend line from time to time. Okay. So we're back to here. We can see that market break up and break down immediately. And on H4, we can see that market just goes back to the trend line area. So when market goes back to this trend line area, what we need to do is that we just need to shift our trend line. Okay, shift our trend line. So when we know that these are the area for us to look for sell trade when market is going to retest this trend line. Okay, but if you look at the market and if you know how to see SNR, SNR is in the content, is in the Kickstarter content, because sometimes market not really will retest the trend line as perfect as you think. Okay, and at here we can see that there is a SNR zone here. All right, there is a SNR zone here, meaning that this is a previous support and turns into a resistance level. And if we go to H1, we can still look for a sell trade at here. All right. We can still look for a sell trade at here. Can you see? This can also consider as a double top. All right. We still can look for sell trade at here. So back to everything is that the most important thing is that you need to know your trend on H4. You need to identify firstly what is H4 market doing. Okay, what is H4 market doing, and then only you look for entry in H1 or even M15. Okay, I show you one more example. Okay, just let's say at here. Let's say at here. Okay. So we open up the chart, we draw our SNR, everything we draw nicely, SNR. Okay, this is the trend line for H4. Okay. So sometimes we need to be flexible a bit. Okay, as long as the trend line looks logic for you, is good enough. Okay, so we know that market has broken this trend line, so we should only look for a buy signal on H1. And on H1, if you are having problems in drawing trend line in here because you see that sometimes the market just shoot up all the way, you can always draw in M15. Okay, or even M30. Okay, my advice is do not go any time frame lower than M15. All right, just M15 is good for me lah. All right, I'm not sure about you because M5 is quite fast for me. M15 is good enough for me. So and on M15 we can draw another trend line to look for a buy entry. Okay, we do not look for sell entry, we only look for a buy entry because we already know that on H4 market has broken up, and we look at the overall picture is that market is keep on doing higher high, higher high, higher high, and lower high, lower higher low, higher low, and also higher low. So on M15 or H1 or even M30, we are only going to look for a buy entry. We are only going to look for a buy entry instead of a sell entry. Okay. Okay. So far, any question? Any question? Just you can open up your mic, or you can just type in the chat box. Any questions? Right. I'll just back to the PowerPoint slide. Okay, so we have recap about all the trading steps, meaning that on the first step, we need to plot the trend line on higher time frame, so it's H4. Okay, you can also plot the trend line on daily, so you know that which region you should take note, or which region you should be extra caution. Okay, and after that, after we plot the trend line, we wait for the trend line to be retested or to break. So when trend line is retested, we spot our entry pattern at lower time frame, such as H1 or even M15. And we always do our entry with a 1 to 2 or even higher risk and reward ratio. Okay. So I recap on the entry patterns here. So these are the entry pattern is that when the trend line is being retested, we look for sell here, we look for sell here, and the trend line is broken up, we look for a buy. Okay, we look for a buy. This is for a downtrend market. So for the uptrend market, where market is retesting the trend line here, we look for buy, and when the trend line is broken, we look for a sell. All right, we look for a sell. There's a typo here. We look for a sell here. Okay, and these are the chart pattern for you to know that this is a double top. And for me, for my rules is that the second top must not close above the first top shadow. All right, I will use shadow. So for more accurate entry. And once we have this is only a valid double top. And the double bottom is the same thing. The second bottom must not close above the first top shadow. Sorry, the first bottom shadow. All right, and this is the head and shoulder pattern that I shared just now. So we only use this pattern when market show us the evidence of a trend reversal, meaning that after the trend line break. All right, we do not try to enter the market and do not try to be the first one to enter the market. All right, the market will always retrace, and market will be doing pullback all the time. All right, so I'll pass the session to Mason. Mason is here. So Mason, do you have anything to share with our member?
Okay, so I think you guys saw a lot of chart, a lot of trend already. Also explained on the trend line. But the most important thing is that what are the key areas that you guys have actually faced before you join us or you found us? You must have some experience that you wanted to share with us and see how we can actually help you from there. Yeah. So, how many of you are totally new? Yeah, or you guys have some experience? Maybe you can just comment below how many years that you have trade forex trading. Maybe you can just comment. Two years. Okay, still new. 3 to 4 years.
So okay, for those who are trading for more than, okay, I would say more than 1 year, and I believe that most of the traders for the first 2-year trader or even for the first 3 to 4 year trader, probably they are still losing money. So what do you think what is your first obstacle that make you to stop you from making profit? All right, I will say like this. If you think that you are losing money because you are lacking of technical issue, you comment 1. If you are thinking that you are losing money because of your self-emotion, of your self issue, you cannot make it a very systematic way. You cannot stick to a trading plan. You comment 2. All right. If you are lacking of technical issue, comment 1. If you are lacking of your self-emotional control, comment 2. All right. So Kenny commented 1, Alvin commented 1, Bondasa commented 1, meaning that you guys are very good in controlling yourself. Just you are lacking of some technical issue or technical knowledge. Okay. Because we will see that how can we help you guys to move further in this in this keep secrets. Okay, my question 2. Okay, all right.
Yeah, because personal character sometimes do actually affect how you trade and how do you react. Yeah, I think Alvin in our group is very systematic ways. Yeah, he don't rush into trade. Okay, he has his own plan. So when he has some good technical skill, so you can see that he's improved very fast. Yeah, but sometimes like Asha saying that my question is too, so it's more on emotionals. So, but how do you actually overcome these emotionals? Have you thought about ways to overcome it? If you already know that your answers, what are the ways or what are the things that you're going to do differently? Yeah, have you ever thought about that?
But it's a good thing lah, because because they know that where is their problems. Because some people they lose money without knowing what are the problems. At least you guys know what is the problems.
Yeah. So because most of the time, the thing is that I always believe emotionals or technicals, you can actually work in a group. Technicals, because sometimes we have blind spot. We look at the chart, we wanted to actually trade. That's the reason why we always keep on telling ourselves, hey, that's the right setup. But with the right trading group, you can actually eliminate all this. When your friends are trading exactly the same way, will tell you that, hey, you should look at a higher time frame, or you should actually don't trade counter. Yeah. So these are ways that actually can help. Whereas emotional, I think when you trade a certain pairs together with your friends, you can actually cross-check with each others. I think in our private chat group, this is a very good place for you to overcome this. When you see your friend that trading trend, yeah, and they're making money, and the person that trading trends and counter trends all the time, maybe they don't make much of money. From there, you actually know that what is your personal challenges. Andy was asking, when forex trading, do we directly put entry loss and target levels for triggers? Yeah, actually, when we wanted to go into a trade, we can do a pending orders. We know where we wanted to entry, and we set our stop loss, and also we set our take profit before we even entry. Yeah, so that you have a proper planning, so that you can trade with your plan, is it? Okay.
Okay, so I believe that you guys have learned, I would not say that something new. Maybe these are the things that you have learned before, but I believe that today's session has actually give you a better idea, or you can do is a very good revision for you on your basic skill, or on your some technical skill in forex trading. Okay, so I need you guys to do me a favor. I want to take a group photo because this is the first session for Kickstarter. I want to make it a memory for all of us. So can you guys turn on the camera? I just take a very quick group photo. All right. I take a very quick group photo. Just turn on your camera. Don't be shy. Yeah. Say hi, say hi, say hi to everybody. Hi. We should be meeting like this, you know. Right.
Because in training also, we need to actually motivate each other. There's a lot of up and downs as well.
We are in the same group, guys. We are not like trading independently. We are in the same group. So okay. Okay, I do it very simple. I will just take a video so everybody will say hi. Okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hi. Hi. Okay, nice, 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 nice. Okay, so I will just share back my screen. All right, you guys can leave the camera on so I can see your face for longer. I don't mind to see you longer. Okay, let me share back my screen. All right, so okay, so basically what I do as a recap is that we have learned about some chart patterns here, some price action here, and also we know that how to identify the market structure. And I promise you guys that we are gonna do more future online classes for both Kickstarter and also my mastermind members to refresh, because sometimes as a human being that we keep on want to learn new things. We keep on asking ourselves, forcing ourselves to learn new things, and we have forgotten all the basics, all the important basics that we should practice oftenly. Okay, so for Kickstarter member, so I'm going to share about something about my mastermind group. Okay, so if you are in the checkout page when you sign up for the Kickstarter page, you will see that there's an option for mastermind group for 167. So these are some testimonial from my mastermind group. Okay, so we have a very good performing trader here, Alvin. Alvin has done a lot of good trades in my mastermind group. All right, I feel so happy for him. Okay, and you can see that this is from Jason. So Jason saying that after going through the mastermind course, his trading world has been completely changed, and now he know how to read the chart, what to trade and what to not trade. So very important, guys. When you're trading, we only look for what should we trade, but you need to know that what to not trade. How can you avoiding the trades? All right. And this is Alvin. So Alvin saying that Pipsecrets has helped him to improve, and his trading skill has improved ever joining the program. So we can also see Alvin result in the mastermind group, because when we are in the group, we do not expect that the master or the guru to do all the sharing. In fact, when you are in the group, if you share more, you learn more, you improve faster. Or this is, I believe that these rules applies this same rules applies in everything besides trading. All right, you share more, you learn more, you improve faster. All right. And so what is inside Pipsecret is that you are going to unlock all the mastermind entry methods here. We are going to use swing points to identify market direction. And we are also having our Zoom discussion with my mastermind members. So in fact, we are having another discussion on tomorrow. All right, we are having this discussion bi-weekly. All right, so we are having the discussion tomorrow. And also that these are what is happening in mastermind group. So everybody is sharing their charts. All right, so Dan is here, Alvin is here, and we just share our thoughts, we share our charts. What we do is that we are trying to build a very healthy community here without showing off any profits. We are not showing off any profits, we are not showing off any luxury lifestyle. What we do is that we are just sharing and discuss about the technical skill on how we see and how we analyze the market. All right, so the mastermind program, if you click on the upgrade page for now, is 197. So I'm going to do again for you guys for 167, because some of you guys has actually purchased the mastermind when you sign up for Kickstarter, but some of you actually don't. All right. So in order to get this offer, just log into the membership area. All right. Click on the upgrade, and you will see this at 197 previously. All right, I have now changed back this to 167. Okay, so I'll be going to change the price back to 197 in 2 hours time. So if you really want to join our mastermind group to take your training to the next level, you can just upgrade your membership now for 167. All right, so I'll be seeing you guys in the next class. I will announce it on our Facebook, and please move our email to your primary tab, because that some of our email actually went to the promotional tab or went to the spam box, because we are going to send out all our future events through email and all the links through email. All right, so I hope to see all of you in my mastermind group, and I will see you again on Facebook, and I will see you again on our next session. All right, so I end my session here. So Mason, you got anything to share before we end?
Okay, we hope to see you in in our mastermind group, yeah, so that this is the first areas that how do you use a trend line. Of course, the advanced is how do you use market structures or swing point. But this is a very good transition, yeah, for you to actually capture why market structure, combined with the trend line, everything. Yeah. So just keep on asking us more questions, and that's how you can improve.
Okay, so before we say good night to everybody, let's turn on your camera again and we give each other a good sign. Okay, we have a good trading week coming next week. All right, let's turn on your camera. We give each other a good sign. All right, thank you for joining. Yes, good, 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 good. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right,
Okay.
so enjoy your Sunday tomorrow. Okay, I will see you guys again. Thank you. Good night.